Your subconscious is a playground for manipulators. They use hidden codes to access your psyche. They don't hack your phone. They hack your emotions. And they make you do things you would never do of your own free will. The problem is that you don't see these manipulations. You just feel guilty after talking to your partner. You feel a strange obligation to help a colleague at your own expense. You agree to terms that humiliate you because that's the way it should be. The traditional solution, be smarter or think positively, doesn't work. Manipulators play not on your intellect, but on your basic instincts. The fear of being rejected, the desire to be good, the sense of duty. It's an attack at the firmware level. It's time to turn on the lie detector for other people's words. It's time to learn to see the invisible strings that are being pulled, because your emotional freedom is your main asset. Chapter 1. Gaslighting. How your reality is being stolen from you. They tell you that you're crazy, and you start to believe it. This is not just a lie. It is a systematic attempt to make you doubt your own perception, memory, and common sense. The manipulator claims that events you clearly remember did not happen, or that your normal reaction to rudeness is abnormal hysteria. The term gaslighting comes from the play and film Gaslight, in which a husband systematically convinces his wife that she is going crazy. Psychologists note that prolonged gaslighting leads to increased anxiety, depression, and loss of self-esteem. The victim loses their sense of self. Gaslighting is like someone quietly moving the furniture in your apartment a couple of centimeters every day. You stumble, but they say, "It's always been here, you just forgot." After a month, you start to believe that you have memory lapses. Start an anti-gaslighting diary. As soon as you feel confused after a conversation, "Did I really make that up?" Immediately record the essence of the argument on a voice recorder or in your notes. Record the facts. What was said, by whom, and when. Not emotions, but dry data. Return to the recording later, when you are calm. Your perception will become clearer. The recording is your anchor to reality. Bottom line, gaslighting destroys your self-confidence. Your diary or voice recorder is a bulldozer that demolishes these lies. The next time you feel confused, pause and say, "I hear your point of view. I'll think about it." This deprives the manipulator of an immediate response and gives you time to analyze. Chapter 2. Triangulation. A game of cat and mouse with your emotions. The manipulator creates the illusion of competition for their attention. The manipulator deliberately mentions a third person. "Ethan would never do that. My ex always understood me without me having to say a word." They create a triangle where you end up in the worst position. Your task becomes to earn their favor by defeating an invisible rival. Research in social psychology shows that introducing competition dramatically increases our involvement and willingness to compromise. Fear of loss and social comparison is one of the strongest drivers of behavior. It's as if a coach at a competition whispered in your ear, "The next runner is faster. If you don't give it your all now, you'll lose." Only in the role of the coach is the manipulator, and in the role of the running track is your life. Practical advice on how to break the triangle. Catch the moment when you are being compared. Say to yourself, "Stop. This is triangulation." Respond calmly and neutrally. "I'm interested in your opinion about my actions. Let's not talk about other people." If the manipulator continues, "But Ethan," gently end the conversation. "I understand that Ethan is your benchmark, but we're talking about us right now." Conclusion. Triangulation forces you to play someone else's game. Refusing to compare is a way out of the game. Think of one person who often uses comparisons. Think about what need they are fulfilling with this behavior. Often it is simply insecurity, which they are projecting onto you. Chapter 3. Playing the victim. When they make you feel guilty. "Look what you've done to me," shouts the executioner, who created the situation himself in order to blame you. A classic manipulation tactic. The person presents themselves as a helpless victim of your actions, or, inaction. They sigh, cry, talk about their plight, hinting that you and only you are responsible for saving them. Your attempts to set boundaries are perceived as cruelty. Constant guilt activates the centers in the brain associated with pain and stress. By playing the victim, the manipulator actually causes you physiological discomfort, so that you agree to their terms in order to get rid of this feeling. Playing the victim is emotional blackmail. The manipulator speaks as if any boundary you set is an attack on them. They make themselves the center of the tragedy so that you feel responsible for their emotions. Practical advice that will protect you from manipulation. Ask yourself, did I really cause this person serious, intentional harm? If not, it's induced guilt. Instead of making excuses, I didn't mean to. Use I messages and take back responsibility. I'm sorry you're so upset. I understand your feelings. What do you suggest we do in this situation? And offer a solution that doesn't violate your boundaries. I can't do X, but I can help you with Y. Bottom line, you are responsible for your actions, but not for an adult's feelings. Their emotions are their responsibility. Practice saying a simple but difficult word today. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you feel that way. This is empathy, not guilt. Chapter 4. The False Dilemma. Your choice between bad and terrible. You are offered an either-or choice, hiding a third, sensible option. Either you stay late at work, or you're not a team player. Either we spend our vacation with my mother, or you don't respect her. The manipulator artificially narrows the field of choice to two options that are obviously disadvantageous to you, imposing their decision. A cognitive bias known as a false dilemma causes the brain to simplify complex situations. Faced with two bad options, we become stressed and often choose the lesser evil instead of seeing alternatives. It's like being asked, do you want to choose the bad option or the even worse option? And the reasonable question here is, why do I have to choose between these extremes in the first place? Practical advice for breaking the dilemma. When you hear either or, mentally add, or is there a third option? Calmly say, I understand that you see two paths, but let's look for a solution that suits us both. For example, offer your alternative. The very fact that it exists destroys the manipulative construct. Conclusion: a false dilemma is a prison for your choice. The hacker is your creative thinking and willingness to offer your own options. Analyze one of your past situations where you felt stuck. What other options do you see now, from the outside? Remember this principle. Chapter 5. Love bombing is a drug that is followed by withdrawal. First, they shower you with gold, and then they demand your soul. The most insidious tactic. In the first stage, idealization, the manipulator showers you with incredible attention, gifts, compliments, and passion. You feel like the most loved person on earth. But this is a trap. As soon as you take the bait and become emotionally dependent, the devaluation phase begins. Attention is abruptly replaced by coldness, criticism, and ignorance. Such a sharp transition from euphoria to rejection causes reactions in the brain similar to drug addiction. The victim experiences real withdrawal from that ideal image of the relationship and does everything to get it back, falling into complete dependence on the manipulator. Love bombing is like cotton candy. It's bright and sweet, but it has no nutritional value and melts quickly, leaving your hands sticky and an unpleasant aftertaste. And you already want more. Turn on your healthy attachment detector. Ask yourself during the idealization stage, I've only known this person for a month. What is the basis for such strong and rapid love? Pay attention to actions, not words. Constant phone calls are not always a sign of care. Sometimes they are a sign of control. Healthy relationships develop gradually. If everything is too fairy tale-like and fast, it's a reason to be wary, not relax. Conclusion: if you are given a Rolls-Royce on the first day, ask yourself what price they will ask later. true love is built, not dropped from the sky ready-made. Think about your relationships, current or past. Was there a sudden, unjustified surge of idealization at the beginning? You are not a puppet. You are the puppeteer of your life. Your psyche is your fortress. Now you have a full set of weapons to defend it. Knowledge is only half the battle. Application is what gives you power. Choose one tactic from this text that you encounter most often in your life and start applying countermeasures today. Subscribe to the channel, give it a like, share this guide with your friends. Together we will create a society where manipulators have nothing to gain. Your emotional freedom begins now.